Ready, set, go.
Alright, next question is, what do you think about the new balance changes that Blizzard is planning to do on the next patch?
I love them.
Yeah? Siege tank is going from what? 50 to
50 to 35, but plus your team to armor. So
That's for the Zergling.
it's it's more for TVZ.
So that they don't one-shot Zergling.
Correct. But by doing that, it kind of screws up TVP a little bit. So that's why I think they nerfed the Zealots, to be completely honest. It's probably ZVP related too. And there is Rush, but I think it was correct to nerf the Zealots a little bit, make them, longer. TVZ is going to be a lot more fun, I think.
Reaper's getting
Reaper's got, I think ZVP, Zerg is definitely ZVT, Zerg is definitely going to be much stronger. They're going to win a lot more. I'm predicting probably like 55 to 45 for Zerg.
That's like imbalance if it's 55 to 45.
Yeah.
That's bold.
So you're saying that's
I'm saying if you play correctly. A lot of these players don't play correctly. It's because no one's abusing Baneling drops, no one's abusing Infestor drops, no one's abusing Infestors in general.
Who did it? I know somebody has done Infestor drops. Does Slush do it?
I don't think so. I've seen
I heard them talking.
I've seen Infestor burrows and they sneak into the main and start like bringing out infested Terrans, but I haven't heard of like Infestor drop. You could drop anything, but I haven't seen anyone.
But now that Terran doesn't have such a strong early, they're still going to have a strong early game. It's still going to be a little bit gimmicky, but it's not going to be as strong as Reapers, that Mass Reapers.
Sake!
Salute!
Kampai.
Team Fnatic.
Salute!
Kampai.
Team Fnatic.
It's delicious.
So yeah, I think getting into mid game, the whole meta game is going to change.
So,
the timings are going to be completely different.
If it's 55 to 45, then
We'll see. I mean,
you're exaggerating.
yeah, I'm exaggerating a little bit, but the tanks is really going to affect them a lot.
You know who's a really smart Zerg player?
Who?
Sen.
Seth is a very smart player. I wish he was on Fnatic in Masai.
I wish it was on Fnatic too.
I mean, we should actually think about getting him.
Yeah, it's definitely something I'm gonna consider. You know, Sen abuses drops so much.
He abuses Nidus a lot
Yeah.
too. Nidus.
You know what I saw him do? I saw him drop in like he did like a roach drop in a ZVT today, and he started dropping creep, and he also dropped a queen, so he creep tumoured in the guy's base. So he had like roach speed, and you know how the roaches have like burrow increase regen. He was killing Terrans on the Korean server.
Sen is unique. He's starting to do stuff that I haven't seen anyone do yet. That's why he's a good player. He's creative. He's probably the most creative player I've seen. Hydra is the most solid player. Sen is the most like solid creative player.
For Zerg or overall?
Zerg.
Who's the most creative Protoss? Besides TT1.
TT1 is not creative.
Wow.
Boring.
I don't like to be creative actually. I don't think.
Manner.
No, well, for some people it is good to be creative because you don't want to be too predictable, but like being too creative is also a bad thing to be.
I mean, creativity comes in all points of the game.
Yeah, you could be.
Creativity is very
I like to be a macro-based creative player. That's what.
It's very subjective, actually, creativity. Because, like, it gets to the point, like, let's say I keep doing, like, my Banshee build can be considered creative. But to me, it's standard, you know? It's just, like, the best build. It just depends on who you're talking to, on what creativity is. If creativity is, like, harassing and, like, actual mind games, movement games, then, yeah, I have a lot of creativity. Because I base my games a lot around movement and positioning. But, I mean, it just depends on the person what creativity is.
Okay, in terms of creativity, like a player who does things that you don't usually see. Like who's the most okay, the little one, of course. Who's the most creative Protoss? Andre. Whiterun? Pyam?
No, I take that back. Sock.
Sock?
By far. Sock is 100% the most creative person.
That's the thing. Sock is I consider him like a macro creative player.
Yes,
He's
that's
creative.
what I'm talking about.
Yeah. It's not like one base on creativity.
Yeah.
Talk about his PVT. His PVT is sick. Crazy good PVT.
Unbelievable.
it's very like SC1 stylish. That's what I was thinking.
No,
about.
it's even better. Okay, so I'll explain what Sock does. He has layers of pylons all around the map, and sometimes he'll just throw up one cannon to solidify like a Zelnok watchtower. So you have to send something to
By
it.
the way, Saki and this,
Yeah?
I love it.
Let's do this, baby. So he'll do that, and then he harasses with storm drops. But
He uses warp prism.
He uses warp prisms, and he'll do warping storms, just like three zealots. So if there's any marine clusters, he can storm them all and just weaken them. And no matter what that does is disables medevacs from getting a lot of what's it called? Of mana, you know, energy, which is really strong. He feedbacks everything. Medevacs, ghosts, everything like that. He feeds back. He makes sure everything's drilled down. And then what he'll do is just if you try to push, he'll harass on one side and continually storm on the other side, on your main army. So it's like, it's a really, really tough battle. Sometimes he'll just feedback, sometimes he'll storm, it's just all over the place. And until he comes, and then he plays a very defensive style, takes macro routes, and then just goes to carrier. And it's just brilliant because carrier forces Vikings, and it just allows him all these timings. I don't want to go into it too far because it's getting too detailed now.
Yeah.
I don't want to give Sock stuff away either.
Andre never shuts up about talking. No.
When it comes to
Does
strategy,
When
not.
he goes into it, it just continues.
Yeah.
You give him 1 hour, it'll go non-stop.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good thing to have. It's a talent.
That's why it's hard for Andre to coach because he just talks about everything for so
Yeah,
long.
it's such a bad thing to be like having good knowledge for a coach, huh? Good coach right here, guys.
Good coach right here. Possibly potential future Gosu coach. We'll see what happens.
See what happens.
Possibly potential future Gosu coach.
Maybe. And the GQ Man of the Year probably.
GQ Man of the Year. Gosu coach. Gosu admin. That's what's up.
that's what's up indeed. Baller, yo. Come play.
Sake.
Come play.
Are we supposed to like?
Yeah. Every single time. No, I'm just kidding.
You're right, the green tea and the sake are very good combo.
Ballin', yo.
Yeah, so I don't know. PvT is definitely gonna change. I would like to see like just the nitty gritty when you go into it because now Zealots are a lot stronger because they only get dealt 35 damage. So in turn the splash damage is gonna be less.
I feel like Zealots are gonna kill tanks so bad though.
They are. That's what they need though. Because right now Terran is able to mass air and keep a solid ground with tanks. They can lock everything down.
Has anyone ever done that in TVP? I've never seen it.
Yeah. Tester against Zhao? No. Tester against someone.
Do what?
Who goes air and mass tanks in PvT?
Tester
TVP.
versus the one people you showed me on Steps of War.
SCC.
SCC, whatever. Go check that out, Steps of War, SCC versus
Quality and balance. You check.
on Steps of War. That, like, I was like, no, Terran vs. Protoss is pretty balanced right now.
It's not down
You
and
showed me
balanced.
that, and I was like, okay, this is kind of messed up.
His unit composition was wrong in the first place.
Yeah, I mean, Tester's unit composition was wrong, but it had a lot of validity in, like, there being imbalance
But
in that mid-game.
even though his unit composition was wrong, SCC wasn't supposed to like destroy his army that way.
Yeah.
It was like an equal battle, and at the end of it, like SCC barely lost any units, and Tester lost everything.
It was like a huge landslide. Not only that, remember, SCC also like lost like 10 Marines and 2 Marauders in
In the early game, yeah, he was really behind in the early game, and he managed to come back by playing like super standard, which is I don't see that happening in like StarCraft now.
Yeah.
All right, Korean server.
No idea what's going on in the Korean server. Well,
What about the GSL? What do you think about Torch?
George.
Torch has qualified for the GSL Final 64. What do you think?
Must be good. I don't know. I've never heard about Torch until you just said the name, but I don't know if it's guy or girl, but I wish him or her luck.
Yeah, good luck.
I'm pretty sure it's a guy. Just a guess.
Yeah, pretty sure. I played him on the US server. I don't think I played him on like a lot of games. He's either Protoss or Terran. I can't remember.
Terran.
Terran?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I love it. You know, he went out. He has a dream. He followed his dream. And plus, he's starting.
Yeah. Thank you.
Food's here. Well, we have to.
Looks delicious. I'm gonna eat that. Wait, the bowl is. Oh wow.
Oh yeah, it's like slanted.
Yeah,
Well,
dude.
sorry for my racial slur.
All right. JK. All right. What do you think? All right. So we have 4 foreigners qualified for GSL, right? Idra, Artosis. Good job to Artosis, by the way. Good job, Dan. Admin fighting. Woo. Torch, Artosis, Idra, and TLO.
Congratulations, TLO as well.
Yep. So we also have 4 foreigners who did not make it.
The old schoolers.
The old schoolers, yeah. Smuffed, Gur, Nazgul, and Jinro. What do you think about Smuff though? He made it to the quarterfinals actually. I think it was like 1 round away from qualifying.
I've played him since, you know, the beta. Well, I played him in the beta. He was a pretty decent player. I don't know much about him.
At first, Smuff had the best win rate.
Yeah, he was the best player in the first 2 weeks. For
But
sure.
I mean, like, TVP in the first 2 weeks was like LOL, right?
Hey man.
Jinro, I'm actually kind of sad to see Jinro didn't qualify. He's a very talented player. He thinks, which I like a lot. And of course, he's a complete gentleman. Like, I've talked to him here and there throughout the beta and everything. I wish I actually played with him more. But he's a complete gentleman. I really wish luck for him because he deserves to definitely.
It's their first try, anyways.
Yeah, I mean,
there's a lot of time, you know.
Yeah.
There's a tournament every month, so yeah. There's a lot of time.
All right, so there's 64 players in the GSL. 4 of them are foreigners. Do you think anyone will make it to the top 16?
What's happening in the top 16? What's the money?
I don't know. I'm just saying.
Like a random number.
Yeah.
Alright, top 16. Okay. Well, first of all, it depends on the brackets. If you get easy brackets, then yeah, for sure. But the player I'm expecting to like go the furthest is of course Idra. Apart from Idra, I could see TLO pulling off something.
I think definitely there will. I don't think people are really used to TLO's style.
Yeah,
to be completely honest.
that's one of his advantages.
And I know, I mean, this is stereotyping, but Asia server, they like. Well, no, I should say every server. They always like assume that the other person's gonna play a specific style, and it generally catches you off guard. I mean, like I've had that problem switching from Europe to US.
I base a lot of my builds on that thing, especially on that.
So I mean, I think TLO's gonna definitely make it pretty far. Idra, I think he's gonna be abused. To be completely honest, he's gonna be, you know, he's gonna get.
You think Korean standard style versus Idra standard style?
No, I don't think Koreans will necessarily be standard. They just go for whatever wins.
I think
They're
that.
gonna be abusive. I don't think Idra. I think Idra might be caught off guard one of the matches.
Is it a best of 1 or best of 2?
I don't know the format.
Well, it's a huge accomplishment just to get into the top 64.
So that's why big congratulations to them because
All right.
I mean representing the foreigners it's huge. You know we have very little going over there, and for us to get top, you know, even if it's just 4, is pretty substantial.
Yep. All right.
Hopefully one day we'll be joining them. Yep.
Next year, 2011.
2011.
Yep.
We will. What did our savior Zerg say?
We will destroy everyone.
Fnatic will destroy all in 2011. All right.
And we won't cheat.
Oh snap! All right, wrapping it up right now. I'll return.